CP3.
Welcome to Sports on the Hill podcast. Hashtag DC Sports Without the Politics with Carol and Robbie on True Radio Network. Thank you, gentlemen.
I done overcame so much obstacles, came from up on the so much rocks. Even though I be out here scheming, like a demon seeming, I know I'm God sent. It's gotta be God. I'm God sent, like he sent me up so I can relay these messages, like he used me as a vessel, like he used me as an instrument, trying to lock me in a box. They hate how God just keep on blessing me. They locked me in the box, I pray to God, this ain't my investment. I don't drink no lean, I'm sipping no holy water like this my medicine. I'm a living testimony, every album like a testament. Everything I went through made me who I am, so he be testing me. So I'm breaking bread with all my fam, cause I don't take no ecstasy. I done sacrificed.
That's right. It's Monday night. Sports on the Hill podcast, True Radio Network, CP3 coming to you live from the lab. We got RobbieG in the man cave. And it's a victory Monday, and you already see we got DujunneaB all ready to chime in. Excuse me. It's a victory Monday. Washington victorious, 30-29 over the New York Giants. We're going to break that game down and recap it with DujunneaB. And we got Big Hurt coming in the bottom of the hour. Then we're also going to talk some Nats baseball. Last week they went 2-4. They're currently playing the Marlins right now. They were up 6-4 last I checked. They were up 6-3 when I got home. They got a home run, and they had a double play in the next inning when they were trying to score back. So I figured I should turn the game off and let the momentum go to where it was before. But RobbieG, how you doing tonight, good sir? It's your unfortunate last show with the birth of your second child right around the corner. It's glad it's a victory Monday, but we're definitely gonna miss you, man. And how you doing tonight, bro?
I'm doing good. It's good to be with you guys. Yeah, it's bittersweet. Obviously, I'm super excited about what's coming in my life. I'll miss doing this every Monday night, but I'll still be around social media, still chatting, still watching the games. Obviously, I just don't want to commit to the grind that it does to put on such a great show. And I know there's so many great other podcast people that can join the fray from our roundtables and all of our different experts. And it'll be good to have that time with Zara and with Zach and really focus on family. And I really, in 2018, appreciated those 3 months when I did it then. And I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I'm excited. We get a victory Monday for the last show. I'm excited that DujunneaB is able to join us tonight. I'm excited that Big Hurt is going to join us right after DujunneaB. And so it's going to be a big evening, and we can really celebrate a big victory. I didn't ask if Brian wanted to be on the show. I had a feeling he would not.
After looking at some of the comments that he had in y'all group thread, I don't think it would be a good day to have Brian on tonight.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think he'd be too happy with it. I'm sure he's listening, so hi, Brian. And it was a good battle, and we appreciate you as always on the show. No hard feelings, obviously, but I'm excited to be on. I mean, he's gotten a lot of wins on us in the last couple of years, right? I mean,
they had 5 in a row.
So I feel a little bad, but I don't feel that bad, just because they've gotten a lot on us recently. So it was kind of nice to get on the win column against these Giants.
Definitely. DujunneaB, how you doing tonight, good sir? I know you showed on time. We didn't started having a little too much fun already. What's going on?
I'm gonna grab some water, but you guys
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. It's an interesting football season so far.
Oh my
so
goodness.
It's just having fun, man. This is what we want to see within 2 weeks. This week is upside down on its head from last week, so it's pretty interesting, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's been some very entertaining football from week 1 with the Monday Night Football and then the Thursday Night Football with the Washington football team and then the great Sunday Night Football game last night. I mean, the first 2 weeks of the season has been some entertaining football, and it's been some missed calls, which we all, seen. But you got to say, just like with the players, the second week, the rest got to get into a groove to hopefully some of the officiating get more consistent with what's pass interference and, what's roughing the pass, because we've seen a lot of inconsistency in those calls. But, yeah, it's been some very good football these first 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I leave that to the fans, man. I've been talking about this for a long time now. The NFL is full of inconsistency, and there's really no, I don't have a problem with bad calls. Just be consistent with what you call, and they're not. So it's almost like I said, it's since 2016 I've been saying this. They just don't have any level of understanding. And if we can't get an idea of what a pass interference is or holding or whatever, it's just going to be what it's going to be. I mean, it's going to cost teams games, and just going to have to learn to accept it because they ain't fixing to change it. So, I just don't get it, though. I don't get it. I've seen a couple ignorant calls in the Dallas game as well. It's just like, I don't know. Each crew is different. They just call whatever they want to call, and it is what it is. So I learned to just, laugh it off, and, the obvious things that the NFL, officiating, loves to, kind of dismiss or whatever, I will tweet about, but, this is what it is, man. It's the NFL.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I said, you have to overcome those calls. Sometimes they miss calls, they're human. Sometimes you think they're sitting looking right at it, but apparently they don't see it. So I don't know. There should be some type of, eye test to make sure they can see before they become referees. But like I said, that's another topic for another show.
Yeah, it's something, man. It's rough.
All right, well, let's get into this game. This crazy game, 30-29, last second victory on a field goal. 43-yard field goal after an unfortunate 48-yard miss, but the Giants defensive lineman lined up in the neutral zone before the ball was snapped, and the Washington football team received the penalty, and Dustin Hopkins had redemption and was able to get the game-winning field goal. I'm going to speak on that real quick with Dustin Hopkins. When he missed
trash. Trash. I'm going to hurt y'all feelings tonight. Trash. And this is why.
Go ahead.
Why is this man, this is the man that had no competition. No competition. Like he was like Jesus, walked on water and did everything so great. And we're surprised that he missed the game-winning field goal. But just fortunate enough, you're playing someone who likes to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory when possible. And how do you get offside on a field goal? A field goal. What are you doing? It's Dustin Hopkins, first of all. I mean, you act like you're going against some kind of formidable kicker that you should be fearful of. This dude misses just cuz. So what's the purpose of being offside? What were you going after? You didn't have to go after anything. He was going to do your job for you. Shank it, which he did. And he got a chance to redeem himself. I'm giving him no credit at all. He can thank he can thank the New York Giants. He needs to buy that man a steak dinner. And he better be on the top of his Christmas list. That's all I'm saying. Because after that, he should have been fired. In the words of Vince McMahon.
Yeah, I get that same sentiment from a lot of folks I talk to on social media. And only thing I have to say, yes, he should have hit that kick. Yes, he's been inconsistent. But look on the other side of the field with a kicker that the Washington football team drafted that we cut because he had some early inconsistencies. But after he left our team, he has become one of the more accurate kickers in the league for a long time now. And
that's true.
So that's why I say I understand the frustration, but we've seen time and time again this team cut kickers that go elsewhere and get Super Bowl rings or end up being in the league for 15 years and going to the Pro Bowl after we cut them because we didn't have the patience to let them work through their, misdeeds and become, what they're going to become. So I'm
gonna let you have that one, Carol. I'm gonna let you have that one. I'm gonna let you have that one.
All right.
That's you made a good point. I ain't even gonna argue that.
All right, cool.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I feel good now. I feel good. All right, I finally got one.
I love it.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get into this.
DujunneaB 10, Carol 1. Give it one.
Hey man, it only takes one, man. It only takes one.
Hey, I'm jealous. The two of you guys are on top of this weekly leaderboard. You guys crushed it with the picks this week, so I feel like I'm in the presence of greatness. I'm not doing so hot myself. So.
Man, I had a bad week. I'm lucky to be sitting where I'm sitting. I had a bad week.
Man, I had a couple of games turn on me, man. I ain't even gonna get into my fantasy football.
It was a tough week for Pick'em though. I did not see the Ravens coming in and winning that game, but
me neither.
Yeah,
it was a great game though.
I gotta give you props. Carol, you picked the Panthers. I didn't pick them. I didn't think that was going to happen.
Yeah, the Panthers look pretty good, to start out where they are, where everyone thought they were going to. I mean, they got Christian McCaffrey where he's going to get his hands on the ball at least 30 times a game. I think he had like 24 carries. So, they have a good formula. They just got to figure things out because they got a young squad. But, yeah, it was definitely some interesting things going on in this week with some of the players, some of the games, But, yeah, like I said, I don't even want to get on the fantasy football right now. I'll wait till Hurt come on because we're in the same league. And, yeah, I left a guy on the bench that could have won me the game after I picked him up before everybody else, and I didn't start him. And Landry got hurt, and Tyreek Hill got shut down, which no one expected yesterday. So, yeah, I'm a little salty. But let's get back into this Washington football game before
Sorry.
we talk about Buffalo. You got me. I'll go off on it.
I know.
I'm trying to prove I know DujunneaB got to be out of here, so I'm trying to stay on point.
Sorry.
All right, I'll say the stats for later. So, DujunneaB, we already started talking about the kicking aspect with Hopkins, getting bailed out and being able to, snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. Only issue I had was in that interception in the fourth quarter with Scott Turner. Well, I had another issue with not running the ball enough, but the fact that it's 2nd and 7, a little bit over 2 minutes, defense just made a stand. You got the ball. All you got to do is run the clock out. Game over. And for some reason, you want to decide to throw the ball on 2nd and 7. And, the defender made a good play. McLaurin, tried to go in front. It's time to play. Heineke had to run it back open in the flat. Made a bad decision. Luckily, he was able to come back in, engineer the 2-minute drive, and, get him in a position to win the game. And that's really the issue, and then not running the ball with Gibson, especially when he was fresh at the end of the game. He was running off, getting yards. His first run was an 11-yard run where he carried like 2 people, 3 people with him, and then you're going to throw the ball. And it's ridiculous. But DujunneaB, let me get your take on it, and then I'll give my deep take on it and see what you thought about this performance. I already think it's going to be a little brutal, but let's go ahead.
Offensively, I love what they did. I understand what you're saying offensively with that pass, because I felt like Heineke was due for interception. You know what I mean? He's and it's nothing against him because I love that he's loose.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't let things bother him. He lets the thing rip, and he makes good throws. But there were a couple of them, boy. I know a couple of fans, their buttholes was puckered up. They thought it was going to be snatched, but he made some good plays, and I'm not going to down him for that. I don't like the call because you put him in a bad position, and it was kind of telegraphed, not from the quarterback standpoint. It's just they had an idea of what was going on. That's why they were able to jump that route. I would have liked to have stayed or gone with something different if you're going to pass it. Not that one, though. That wasn't it. And he was due. I just had that feeling that he was going to throw an interception if they kept going that route. And it just so happened to happen at the most inopportune time. And I don't yell anymore in games, but I got out of my chair on that one. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. Other than that, though, I thought the offense is what carried this football team. They really stood up at the end of the game to put themselves in a position to win that football game. This is not something you always see in the last couple of years from Washington. And I thought he did a good job. Definitely showed why he probably should have been starting. And I think we all made that assumption that, he was pressing a little bit during preseason as far as that competition was concerned. Thought he was thinking of it a little bit too much. I'm not sure if you want me to get into the defense yet.
Yeah, well, my take of the offense, like, I agree. I love the way that he commanded the offense, especially his reaction after he threw the pick. You saw he was visually upset. He knew he made a mistake, but he didn't let him bring him down. He still went out there held his composure, took the team down the field, did what he had to do. That touchdown pass to Seals Jones was beautiful. From the beginning, from him setting the play up, buying time, being patient, going through his reads, and then putting the ball in the perfect place where only he could come down with it. And then Seals Jones with the beautiful toe tap, getting both feet in and controlling the ball. I mean, looks like he even, being a starter quarterback for years instead of just, this is first week officially second official start, third, official start. So, I just don't understand why Turner went away from the running game. And, I know last week Gibson had an unfortunate turnover, but he was putting up good yards. This game, he was averaging 5.3 yards a carry, even though he only had 13 carries. That dude can handle a load of 20, 25 carries a game. So why are we not running the ball more, trying to control the clock? That's one of the other issues, time of possession. Last week, it was an 11-minute disparity. This week, it was only 3. But you want to control the time of possession, i.e. run the ball when you have the lead in the fourth quarter with a little bit over 2 minutes left. So the offensive line definitely has to do better. Cosme is, getting thrown into the fire. He's had 2, formidable opponents that, he's a rookie. He's learning. He has to get experience. So you just want to keep seeing progression and, less pressures and less penalties, and then, see him progress. But as all, the offense, I think, played, pretty well. They started out a little slow, which has been a trademark of this team for a while. But, the fact that they were able to get it going and put up points when needed in key situations and actually getting 7 points instead of 7 for 3, definitely a move in the right direction. Now, let's go ahead and get the raw and uncut about the defense, dude. Hey, go ahead, let it rip.
I'm not. First of all, people blaming the talent. It ain't the talent, okay? Look, Jack Del Rio. Look, I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing whatever. I don't know what. I can't call this. And I tweeted. I can't call what he doing out here. I don't know. I know what Carroll's gonna say. Gap responsibility and all of these things. I see that. But you know what? Your defensive coordinator got to stop doing things that your guys aren't capable of doing. Why you keep putting Jeff Bostic out there in zone coverage? When has he ever done anything good about zone coverage? Go back and look at his tape from last year and the year before that. I mean, come on, man. Hey, you got cable. I'd rather see the rookie out there full time. I'd rather see him getting beat than have a guy out there that can't cover tight ends, that can't do any type of zone coverage. This dude ain't no London Fletcher. You done lost your mind. Then we got corners that play man. They are aggressive. They do an excellent job. I'd rather see them get beat playing man than playing that clown zone that you got going on. I don't know what that is, but you leaving all kinds of holes open, and then everybody looking at the defense like, hey, I don't know, the front four can't get there. Well, why can't they get there? Because ain't nobody covering a soul. You leaving a whole bunch of holes, guys. I mean, prime example. So why is it that trash defense of the Dallas Cowboys can do what they did in the first half to the Chargers, but Washington football team with all that talent couldn't make that happen? That's Jack Del Rio, man. I'm tired of seeing this garbage. He better go in there and figure it out somewhere. I'm telling you, because right now it ain't the talent, it's him. And you're not putting these guys in position to make plays. It's very clear. And I'm tired of every time they play Daniel Jones, this dude looked like the second coming. He's not that good. All right? I know what I see. Man running around there looking like he daggone Tom Brady or somebody just gutting people. Like, what? Come on. And we looking at the talent like, hey, I don't know. Maybe we're not as good as we think we are. No, that's your coach. Jack Del Rio, you losing it, man. I don't know. This is why you're not a head coach, though. And if you keep playing around like this, you won't be a defensive coordinator either. Because this game plan you got going on, I don't know where you got it from. But I can guarantee you a homeless man on the street can draw up a better game plan than this crap right here. Because it ain't playing to the strengths of what your talent is on that football field.
I agree with Dujunne only because I was happy they forced field goals in the fourth quarter, right? They had 3 possessions. They forced the 3 field goals. If any of those become touchdowns, we lose that game. But like, they're still against a better team. They would have gotten touchdowns probably on those drives. So, I worry about a team like the Bills. Now, I know it's a short week and it's a division rival and, it's defensive NFC East slugfest things, like these teams know each other so well, but it's frustrating because I'm really scared about this Bills team. Now, I know it's not the same Bills team as it looked like last year, at least so far, but they've got a lot more weapons than the Giants do on offense, and they better watch out.
Yep.
I cannot argue with what you have said, Dujunne, about the Del Rio last week. I felt, like I said, I didn't really go all in because I know he was, like he was talking about, putting in different packages, putting them in situations, trying to figure things out with all the new pieces that's on there. But this week was, frustrating as hell. For one, some of the players, Landon Collins and Sweat, were on the outside, crashing down too hard, not staying gap responsible. That's why Daniel Jones, made that long run. The same thing with Barkley. But those were really the only long runs that they had in the game. They pretty much shut down the running game. With the passing game, I don't know why Del Rio is so hesitant to send pressure all of a sudden, because they seem like they only want to get pressure with the front 4 and then want to drop everybody back in coverage. And then, like you say, run some type of zone that's not playing to the strengths of your defense. Your defense is supposed to be aggressive, causing confusion, wreaking havoc, confusing the quarterback, all this and that. And Daniel Jones, as you mentioned, had one of the better games of his career. We mentioned that he had 40 turnovers in 3 seasons, but they didn't turn him over once. He had a 102 quarterback rate. So, I mean, he didn't.
Out here looking like Matt Ryan.
Yeah, he didn't really light it up, but he had a good, efficient game. And it's ironic that I feel like one of the best games he's played against the Washington football team, and he lost. And as the other 4, he didn't look as good or look as crisp and still got the victory. And the fact that he only has 1 interception against his team and 5 starts now is mind-boggling. It's always something. That's why I tell you I hate the Giants more, because no matter how bad they are and no matter how good this team is or coming off of a 30-point blowout win, they still find a way to lose to the Giants. So with the defense, I think they're still figuring themselves out, especially with Del Rio. He definitely has to step his game up, as Robbie said, going against Buffalo in Buffalo. They're 1-1. Wasn't expected to be 1-1. And I did have this game as the one loss the Washington football team would have in the first 4 games. So in order to keep my prediction true, they have to beat Buffalo this weekend. Is it possible? Yes. Will it happen? I don't know. We'll definitely talk about that more. The defense is it's been a head scratcher. What has been your take on Landon Collins? I've watched the games and I've looked at him. I haven't had a chance to really examine the game and really shadow him. But what has been your assessment of Collins in the first 2 weeks, do you think?
I think Landon is balling. I think he looks stronger than he looks stronger than he has in past years. Like, he looks like strong Landon of like his rookie season when he first came out. Not what we've seen over the last 2 to 3 years, especially his last year in New York. I think he's played well. I just think that they've been put in really bad positions. Now, I give you that. Ain't no way you'd be crashing in. I know they wanted to get after Daniel Jones, but there's no way you should be crashing in like that on a quarterback. And he can, when he gets that leverage, he's going to get to the outside of you. And it's hard to turn around when you coming in at full speed, flip around and try to catch a man, and there's nobody behind you. Other than that, I thought he's played well. And again, I think it's just, I know I come down on Bostic, but Bostic's being asked to do stuff that he ain't good at. And I really feel like if they can man up on the outside and do what they were doing in the preseason, I know I've seen some people saying they were playing 2s and 3s, but bull crap. They were playing people's 1s and they were dominating their other people's 1s in preseason. And whatever they were doing then, it needs to come back. Okay, this phantom zone nonsense is ridiculous, and it's making people look bad, and it's making Landon look bad. I mean, they had him out of coverage one time, and we know that he ain't all that great, especially with over the top coverage. He's not that great at that, and you're asking him to do it. Why? You got 2 capable safeties back there. And I swear if I see Troy Apke make another ignorant, dumb play, I'm going to lose it. Like, I'm still trying to figure out why he here. But neither here nor there. I'm just ranting. You know what I really can't wait for? I really can't wait for Hurt, though. Because I know Hurt got something to say. I know he got something to say. I can't wait to hear him.
Hurt just jumped on, and you just in time. I was going to read a quick comment, some of the Facebook live feeds. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Before I get Hurt's take, I'm gonna give my man Chris. He been chiming in. He's saying there's too many defensive coaches for the defense to play this bad. Between him and Rivera, they got about 70 years of NFL experience. They should be playing better. And I can't argue with that sentiment. And we got Big Hurt in the building. We got him in here. Big Hurt does his Redskin stamp. I ain't did that in a long time. Had his Washington football team commentary. And has his unique perspective. So, yeah, I definitely can't wait to hear what Hurt has to say about this one. So, Big Hurt in the building. What's going on, sir?
Is it Jimmy Mormon? Yeah, I mean, go. What is it? What is it? Something is different this year that wasn't different last year. Let's see. We upgrade that safety by putting the Apke on the special teams, but if we upgrade one more time, we can get him off the team, period, because I heard his name called once, and that's because of all sides. We're supposed to be upgraded at linebacker, and my man Jammin was, he made a tackle that not everybody makes. So what is it? I keep hearing that St. Jude's is supposed to be, the guy who replaced Jimmy Mormon, but I don't feel it. I don't see it. There's too much spacing. It's the same problems I had with the defense the last couple of years before Rivera took over. It's just guys open in space. They're finding that empty area in the zone. And some teams have like big holes in the zone. And some teams have small. It seems like ours are really big. Guys are lost in space. They don't know where to go. There's 2 guys in one spot and 1 guy's over here. Things that should have been corrected before we get to game day. It's bad coaching. It's not something that I'm supposed to be saying when I'm talking about Ron Rivera coach teams. It's a problem. It's bad coaching. I thought we were away from that. Guys don't look prepared. They don't look like they know what their assignments are. Your assignment is here. When you call this play, you are assigned to the 2 gap, the 3 gap. Anything that comes through there, it's all yours. You're assigned to this area. You're supposed to be covering the whoever the wide receiver is, whoever the slot receiver is. You're supposed to keep an eye on the running back. If guys have assignments and they're not passing their assignments, then get them off the field and get somebody else on. That was what this team was supposed to be built around. They told us that was going to be happening, and it's not happening. It's not happening. Oh, God. The offense is stagnant. It's like we're up against the wall. We're about to lose now. Game's out of reach. Let's open the playbook up. Let's hit the McKissick going up the sideline. Let's try this fade route. We have a quarterback who could throw the fade, and we don't find out until there's 2 minutes left in the game? What? Are you kidding me? We got all these, like, don't we have like some 6'4" receivers? Why are we throwing the fake to them when we get in the red zone? What's going on right now? Why are we throwing the ball with 2 minutes left in the game and we're up by a point and the running game has been gashing them the entire time? I can't think of the last time I yelled, run the ball. I never had to yell that with Ron Rivera's coach. I'm like, why is he passing the ball? I mean, you know, God made a great play on the ball. Why are we passing the ball? At no point did I think we were going to come back and win the game. I'm like, because we don't have it in us to go down the field, score in 30 seconds. Oh, wait. We do have it in us to go down the field and score in 30 seconds. Why the fuck we ain't been doing it then? I'm not feeling this team. I'm not feeling it. Now, here's the sad thing that people don't understand about being in first place. This first place technicality is a 1 week thing because no matter what happens next week, we will not be in first place come this time next week. Hurt, you think we're going to lose? Yes, but that's not why I say that. Because even if we beat Buffalo, the first place team in the NFC East will be the winner of the Dallas Cowboys and Philadelphia Eagles. Because one, they will both have a division. One of them will have a division victory, just like us. That's why we're in first place now. But the other one is either going to have a victory over a team that we lost to, that will be Dallas, or if Philadelphia wins, they already have a conference win over Atlanta, which means more than our potential win over Buffalo. So the first place thing, I'm having fun trolling people, but I know it's temporary unless there's a tie. And we beat Buffalo. But ain't going to be no tie. Dallas is going to tie Philadelphia face down. Their offense is working. Their offense is clicking. How come our offense don't click until Kirk Cousins' time? I thought we were past that. I thought we were past getting 100 yards in the last 2 minutes of the game. I'm not feeling it. I don't like it. And the fact that it can happen and that it only happens when it absolutely has to happen, that means coaching. Too many penalties, too. I'm sorry, did you have a question for me?
Rant brought to you guys. The rant brought to you by Kurt's house. We don't get this every week, but we love when we get it.
Beautiful.
You made some very, very valid points that we spoke on, but you always have your special way of getting it out there, and we always appreciate
I love Hurt doing it too, because if you read his post game of how happy he sounded, you know, with the grades earlier, and then a couple days later.
I love it.
You know, when the game was over, I did the grades, and I stand by the grades. Well, some people corrected me on a few things that I kind of left out. I was so bad. Look. I caught up in the emotion of the victory. I'm not going front. I thought we were going to lose. We won. I got caught up in the emotion of victory. But there's a term that I love. It's called post-nut clarity. They know what it is. We know what it is.
Oh, Lord. Sports on the Hill.
And then you
has
look down
went
and
to a
realize
whole
what you
different
spent
level.
$40 on, and you realize you made a mistake. I know I told you I love you a minute ago, but now it has time to think about it. I don't know if I want you to have my baby. Now we got to see that. So when the game is over, and all that clarity came running out of me, I did my grades. I set my grades up as it was going on. And then the next day, I'm kind of like, I'm watching the game again with that post-nut clarity. And I'm like, this won't do. This won't win
my
the division.
favorite thing ever on our show's history. This is good.
Oh, man. Oh, my
This
God.
is a thing now.
I told y'all he has something to say. I told you.
Now I know how
I don't get to do my own show, so I get to cram 2 weeks worth of show into these segments. I love it.
That's what I love it too.
Now I know how my co-hosts feel on Sunday night show on At the Bar Radio,
my God.
because I get to play the role of Hurt on that show. So now I understand what my co-hosts go through when I go on my.
I love it because, I mean, for people who don't know, like, Hurt was our first producer. He was the guy who rode with us, got us started. You know, a big part of our history, and it's great to have you back on. And with that post nut clarity, it's important. It's important that we all have it, because I was pretty jazzed up too. I'll be honest. That game lulled me to sleep. I passed out on this couch, this very couch that I'm sitting on right now. And luckily, my wife called me and said, "What are you doing?" And I woke up and saw the last 3 minutes, which was the best part of the game, arguably.
The last 4 minutes and 50 seconds is all you can watch.
Right.
That's it. That's it.
So, you know,
Dude,
it worked out for me.
I watched every second of that game. But I've watched the last 5 minutes maybe 10 times. But then at some point, I had to go back and watch the whole game. As you watch the whole game, you go from to oh shit, we got a lot to work on.
Yeah.
This won't do. This ain't gonna beat Dallas. Look. It might beat Buffalo because Buffalo ain't quite got together. But our secondary is suspect. No one's gonna run the ball 100. No one's gonna get 100 yards rushing on us. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that because, the front seven is good and the linebackers seem to have good side-to-side motion. That's cool. But, one, I see some missed tackles. And that's kind of rearing its ugly head.
Yeah, they cleaned it up this week.
People have keyed in on Chase Young. 3, I guess Del Rio doesn't like stunts anymore. Because, the Giants were begging us to run a stunt against them. They were begging us to. We just decided we weren't going to do it. No stunts. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. But that's not going to work against Buffalo. With Buffalo, we need all of that. We need stunts. We need blitzes. We can't keep rushing 4 men. The whole point of rushing 4 men is so that you can have, the other 7 guys in coverage.
I don't know if
But they ain't scheme to do any coverage, though.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not scheming.
If you're not going to cover nobody, you might as well blitz.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm failing to realize, why they're running so much zone when you got guys that's physical.
Just blitz.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but when they did blitz, they were getting pressure and forcing 3, and they'll force them to punt the ball. Then you go
then they're
away
like,
from it.
all right, cool. We don't have to blitz for a while. It's just like we're running the ball. We're getting 5 yards to carry. All right, let's
Go back to cover
let's throw
4.
some side stuff. That's worked so well for us historically. The side stuff.
I don't, that
Let's go this way. When you have a quarterback who has shown you that he can throw that way, let's have him throw this way. What?
Foolishness.
Let's throw some screens to the tight end. Not Terry McLaurin. That's your speedy guy. I can't.
Well, yeah, with Turner, some of his play calls have been a head scratcher. I mean, the tight end screen did get a first down, so
It did.
I see, because Kansas City.
One of the 3 times we used it.
Yeah. So I mean, he had some head scratcher moments that I'll be sitting here like, nah, I coach defense, but I know that was a bad call for offensive coordinator. So I'm hoping that it's just him still trying to find the balance of the changeover from Fitzpatrick to Heineke. I'm stretching that one. But
Yeah, you stretching that.
Yeah, but see, my thing is, I feel like that should open the playbook up more than close it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Heineke's better than Fitzpatrick. I'm saying Heineke's better than Fitzpatrick. So the playbook should open more. It shouldn't close. It should open more every week. We shouldn't see less than we saw against San Diego. And this week against Buffalo, we should see more than we saw against the Giants. Because less isn't going to beat them. But at the same time, all we've been saying for the last 4 years, 3 years, especially last year, if we just had a quarterback to give us 25 points, 25, 30 points, just around that, we will win this many percentage of games. Well, you have a quarterback who can clearly get you 3 touchdowns a game. You have a kicker who can get you, 2 out of 3 field goals a game. And 4 out of 5 if he gets 2 chances. More on that another time. But the defense isn't doing what they were supposed to do. Now, I don't want to say they were overhyped, And I'm not going to sit here and act like it's gone against two world beaters, but man, if they're ever going to show up, they need to show up against Allen this week. He's going to pick the zone apart. If we come with that cookie cutter defense, if we come with that missionary offense, they are going to pipe us down. There will be no post-nut clarity. It will just be us waiting on the hot towel in last place in the division.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm hopeful that this 10-day, layoff, they're in there, trying to get to the root of some of these problems, and hopefully Ron is, looking
Jack
at
Del Rio.
Yeah, looking at Jack like, look, dog, we done worked together for a long time, and this ain't it. So you need to step your game up because we're going to Buffalo against one of the top quarterbacks in the league. And they, like you said, they haven't looked like themselves in the first 2 weeks. We don't want to be that team that they get right on. So you need to have a game plan that's going to be effective. You need to put the players in position to win and go out there and achieve and out there and be successful. If not, I might need to take over the play calling duty. If that happens, they will never fire you here. So yeah, I'm thinking this is a pivotal game for this team. I said that last week with the Giants game because they went down 0-2 trying to go to Buffalo and win in Buffalo. Then yeah, you need to play the lottery on that. But yeah, I'm definitely a little frustrated at the inconsistency I've seen with the defense. But like I say, we were expecting them to pick up where they left off at the end of last season, and not remembering that they did start off in the bottom of the league at the beginning of the first 4 weeks, and then they got things together. Hopefully it doesn't take 4 weeks for them to figure things out like last year. They had the excuse of not having OTAs and having preseason, but this year you had that, so it shouldn't take this long to get things figured out. So I'm hopeful and optimistic that they have things figured out and play a much better game against Buffalo. Hopefully.
Very, because we need to, with losing to San Diego, we need to steal a game back that we were supposed to lose.
Definitely.
And it would be nice if we could get a game against a playoff contender, a team that's supposed to go deep in the playoffs. We need to beat one of them. I don't care if it's Tampa. I don't care if it's Kansas City. I don't care if it's Buffalo. We need to beat one of these deep playoff teams. Period.
I agree.
Real quickly, I got a scoring update. Nats Miami is now tied 7-7, so Nats shockingly are falling apart. Top of the 8th right now, 2 outs, 2-2 count. And surprisingly, the Lions are beating Green Bay going into the second half here by just a field goal. But Goff looks pretty good in comparison. I just don't know. Someone questioned this earlier. Did Aaron Rodgers come back just to injure this team? What is going on?
Aaron, he's not happy. He's not happy. First of all, when was the last time you saw a trade work out for both teams? Detroit's happy. The Rams are happy. I mean, everybody's happy. Let's start there. But Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to have to sit him in my fantasy league because he is clearly unhappy. He's playing like it. He's coming out looking like he just stole a muffler off of a truck, talking about don't panic. No. Just if you want out, just say you want out.
I think he made that clear though, Hurt. They don't want to let him go. The elephant is in the room. The elephant is in the room, and everybody in the organization looking around like, what's going on? And we got a big old elephant standing in the room, and nobody's saying nothing. Nobody. Aaron Rodgers already called you out. So it's an uncomfortable situation for a football team. That's the stupid. Yeah. That's the stupidest thing ever.
To me, honestly, I've been on record as saying this. For one, I feel Aaron Rodgers is overrated. 2, how are you going to get butthurt because they didn't consult you when they decided to draft another quarterback? And
they didn't consult record though, bro. Well, they consult Brett Favre when they drafted.
They sure didn't.
So how are you going to get upset and you want to, bitch about that? Talking about you want to be traded. Now, i.e., I don't have a problem. I mean, if he's playing this bad because he's trying to prove a point. Because now with the new CBA, you can't sit out. That's why the whole Watson situation has me scratching my head trying to figure out what's going to go on down there. But if you sit out, you're under contract. You don't occur another year. Your contract rolls over to the following year. So I figure he's just playing out his contract until he can go somewhere next year. Is he tanking and playing bad because he hates Green Bay now? I don't know. Last week, I don't know what happened in that game. This
He
week,
quit. He quit last week. He was done. He was like, man, I ain't putting up with this no more. We out here getting throttled. And tonight, I mean, I feel like he's playing, but he's showing they didn't bring in the talent that's necessary. And did he not say that they brought back who did they bring back that they let go?
Randall Cobb.
Randall Cobb. So where has he been? Where is Randall Cobb? He ain't been seen for 2 games.
Oh yeah, he I saw him earlier. He had some Gatorade in his hand. He was passing it out. That's the only pass that was completed. He passed the Gatorade out to the team.
Exactly. So I mean, I don't know.
So what do you think?
I guarantee you, this get out of hand, he gonna do the same thing. You're gonna find the second string in there. He ain't going in there like that.
I mean, Randall Cobb was a great weapon for him. I remember the year I had on my fantasy football, and he won a couple of games for me. So,
but he ain't winning.
Yeah, so
they
why
ain't even out there.
Yeah, so why do you think they don't have it?
Why bring him back?
Yeah, so what do you think is really going on? I don't know why we're talking about Green Bay. Guess what they on
Yeah,
football.
I mean,
what do you think is really going on?
He just don't want to be there. I don't think he's going out there like I'm gonna play terrible. I think his heart just isn't in it. His heart isn't in Green Bay. It's like you gotta get up and go to work every day at a job that you like. Look, I can look back when I was working at Ford. I can look back on the week before they fired me. Just the way I was coming to work every day, I was begging to be fired. I didn't want to be there. I was just like, every day, I was basically walking to my boss going, hey, fuck you. Not literally.
See, I've been on the other side of that spectrum where they wanted to get rid of me, but they couldn't. And I was being an asshole just because I could, because I knew they couldn't get rid of me. So I'm that type of asshole. Like, I know you want me to go, but you're not gonna be able to fire me because I have the rule book on my back pocket.
That's how it was. That's how it was the years before.
Yeah,
that's how it was. Look, I promise this is a true story. Okay, my boss pulled me into a meeting one day, and he was like, "Why shouldn't I fire you right now?" I was like, "Because you're not going to get none of them old fuckers upstairs to work till 6." And he just took a deep breath, and he was like, "Yo, you can't keep doing this to me." I was like, "Yeah, I hear you. Don't flex on me, bro. Like, you ain't gonna fire me. Fuck you mean?"
Pretty much. When you gonna get to do what I do the way I do it?
Yeah, it's just what it was. Just what it was.
I feel you. Yeah, I just don't get it. Like I said, I've always felt like Aaron Rodgers has been overrated. Everybody talking about he never had help and they never gave him. I'm like, man, that's bull. And you know, he's got 1 Super Bowl. 1. What makes him so great? What makes him to be able to feel like he can demand a trade? I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it. But
I mean, just real quickly, sometimes he just has a magical throws. So I mean, he's throwing these
like just now.
Yeah, and you know, so sometimes it just brings you back to reality, and you're like, holy, like how many people can throw from midfield and like make a touchdown? I mean, I know we don't, but he obviously is very mental, right? And I think that, you know, sadly, you know,
honestly, they said that he's a shitty human being, honestly, as a person. That's what most people that's around him say. So that's why, you know, it's like I just don't see it. I don't see the greatness. I mean, it's out there, bro. I'm just repeating what's already out there, man. It ain't like I'm the first person to say this. It's on the record that people say that, he's true. Yeah, so I mean,
it's true.
I don't see why he gets so many, you know, passes when, you know, he hasn't shined in those great moments and got to find a way to make his team, you know, excel. Everybody has missing pieces on their team. Everybody has injuries in playoff time. So why does he get a pass to say that, oh, well, he never really had help. He didn't have a complete defense. He didn't have an all-star running back or wide receiver. A lot of players that's, you know, got to the promised land didn't have that. But they were a great quarterback that made their team better. And when that crunch time came, they were able to take them over that hump. So
that's a good point. Pat Mahomes, he won a Super Bowl without a defense.
and he's great.
But some players make their team better on the court
True.
and on the field. Some players make their team better through trades. You know, and Aaron Rodgers isn't somebody who's going to make his teammates better by getting them open and making passes. He's not that Tom Brady type of guy. I can agree on that. I wouldn't call him overrated, but he clearly needs pieces. Green Bay clearly isn't giving it to him. I think it's time for them to separate topics.
Yep.
Well, I'm rough on quarterbacks. I don't consider Joe Montana great. That's another whole conversation. I know y'all probably ready to rip me.
Man, you are
You on it. I got to go.
this guy.
No, I don't consider Joe Montana great. He had a weak division where he got,
Hey, Robbie,
he had eight. He had 8 victories. 6 victories pretty much guaranteed. Where first round, he got a first round bye.
I'm gonna call Carol's phone.
No, I'm just saying. You get a first round bye against a weak division, and you get a first round bye in the playoffs at home, and you have to win one game to make it to the Super
I'm
Bowl.
gonna get him on the phone.
Come on, man. And if the white clock
reflect that,
dog, if the white clock wasn't 6-6. If the white clock wasn't 6-6, that would have been an incomplete pass in the end zone for the touchdown. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Look, I can't be a part of this conversation. I have some things pending. I can't even do Toxic Tuesday anymore. I have my name on some paper. I can't be a part of this conversation, man.
I don't know what's going on here.
A bridge too far. So,
man. Hey, Hurt started it, man. Hurt started it.
All right, let's get back to the Washington football team. Since I've completely derailed us somehow with the Green Bay scoring update.
This is your fault, Robbie. I got alcoholic beverages in front of me, and it's been a long day.
Should never have mentioned Green Bay was playing football. Anyway.
All right. Let's go ahead and wrap up this segment. I know DujunneaB supposed to have been off like 20 minutes ago.
We always blur him for too long.
I know. He's like, I got to be off in 30. I got stuff to do. I got to be off in 30. I was like, all right, I'm going to try to get there. Hurt came on, and next thing I know, we off the rail. I don't even know how we got here. But
all right, DujunneaB, real quickly, your thoughts on the upcoming game, and then you can get out of here with some. Let us know where we can find other stuff as well.
This is tough, man. I'm with Hurt. Like, I think they can do it. The way that the defense is played, though, and the schematics of it lends to that they won't do it. And I believe I picked them not to win this game, but I'm with Hurt as well. They have to steal something. You gave up one in the first game. You got to steal one back. I'm going to lean into they're going to fight. I just think the defense is not going to. We're going to see much of the same, especially against a football team that has a lot more weapons than the first two teams that they faced. So we'll see. Hopefully, like Carol said, 10 days, maybe Jack Del Rio will have come out of his stupor and maybe dialed up something that can get these guys in position to make plays. So we'll see. We will see. But I'm taking them as an L. I think it'll be maybe a 10-point loss. It could be more than that if the offense starts slow. We start throwing side to side and not vertical. So we'll just have to see, man. It'll be interesting though. Y'all know where y'all can find me at sportsjourney.com. The show is there. The breakdown. It's also on Sports OTHP, and I appreciate that. If you want to chat at me, it's at NotBland21. Also check the NotBland21 show out on Ghostcast. Appreciate you guys. Always fun to be on. And Hurt, I knew you were going to bring it today. I just had that feeling. Love it, bro.
I didn't know.
Love it. Love it.
I didn't have any of this planned, but it just kind of took me where it took me.
Real quickly, this is the only game on our schedule where everyone gave it an L. It was very consistent across the board. Yeah. Not a single person thought we would. Even the Bucks, the defending champions, some people took us as winning that game. But this one, everyone has it as an L. So maybe, like I find whenever everyone picks us as a win, we always lose those games. Maybe this could be the one where they surprise us.
Well, I gotta be honest. This is going to be the best defense we played and the best offense we played. Like, they haven't shown us they can stop any offense, and they really haven't shown us they can overcome just any defense. You know, San Diego's not really known for their defense, but they did good enough against us. And, you know, the Giants are a wreck, but, you know, this is going to be a big upgrade on defense. It's going to be a big upgrade on offense.
I didn't know that San Diego ran a 5-2. Nobody runs a 5-2 in the NFL right now, but I think that's where the confusion came from. They run a freaking 5-2 that I didn't even know about until I saw them play.
Yeah.
You only see that on Madden.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like Ron Rivera said, they did a great job of disguising what they were going to do. They didn't play anything. They didn't show anything in the preseason.
Yeah.
So we had to be the test dummies, you know. Then Dallas comes along and takes the glory, just barely, with some help from the referees. But that's neither here nor there.
You know, that 5-2 is a monster, though.
Buffalo is who we think they are. You know, they got a young quarterback who's pretty nasty. And they got a defense that's pretty good. We can't play no games with these guys. We can't. We need to take the 10 days, a tailor-made game plan for them. We need to be watching game film. We need to be watching for Josh Allen's cues because he's still young, and we need to show him something he hasn't seen before. Otherwise,
yeah, it's got to be a completely
enough, man. I think this has the potential to be a dog walking.
Right. I think you gotta the defense has to look completely different than the first 2 weeks. Like it just got to be a different scheme, everything. Got to almost throw that out the window.
I mean, we have to look. There was some progress on defense. They did better on third down conversions, even though they didn't get off the field in some key situations.
Yeah, but you know.
I mean, I always got to try to be the optimist when it comes to
Daniel Jones, man.
You know how needs to change. Yeah.
You know how I feel about Daniel Jones. I think he's one of the most overrated quarterbacks in history.
Well, I don't even feel like he's overrated. I think everybody knows that he's not that good. I don't think that he's overrated anymore. Some people still have faith in him that he can turn, because he does have the tools. He just hasn't put it together. He reminds me of a more talented Heath Schuler. He reminds me of a more talented Heath Schuler.
That's a good one.
I mean, he's athletic. He has the arm. He has the intangibles. He just hasn't put it together. So, I mean, if they give him a shot, they have faith in him. They still putting him out there. So, I guess they put him out there trial by fire. But he has the tools.
They don't have a choice.
That too. But, I mean, he has the tools to be successful. He just has to figure it out. And like Heineke, went through all the stuff that he went through, XFL, Arena League backup. Bagging groceries, going back to school, to now, the light is on and, the sky's the limit for this kid. So, I mean.
Carol, real quickly, do you think, I keep on thinking it reminds me a lot of Eli Manning in some ways. Do you think Eli Manning or Daniel Jones is better?
Do you think that Daniel Jones reminds you of Eli?
Yeah.
I really can't see that.
But just not in how he plays, but just his inconsistency. Like moments where you think he's like really good, and then there's moments where you're like, maybe you're average.
Yeah, it's like I see what you're saying. Sometimes he's Peyton, and sometimes he's just Eli. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But he only does it against the Washington football team, though. So, I mean, it isn't like he's doing it against other teams on a consistent basis. He just has the Washington football team's number, or we don't.
Eli also didn't do it consistently against anybody. He won a couple of Super Bowls with a good defense, but it wasn't like he was, always this amazing talent.
Yeah. I mean, he made some key throws, the Tyree throw, the helmet joint,
right?
The toe tap joint, Plexico. So, I mean, he made some key throws in some key moments. But, yeah, Daniel Jones, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really sold on him. I don't mind that he's up there and they're trying to figure it out and they have nobody else. Hopefully.
Nobody's figure out for the next 10 years.
Exactly. Like I said, I hate the Giants more than I hate the Cowboys, because the Giants will find a way to beat us. If they 0-10 and the Washington football team is 9-1, they'll find a way to beat the Washington football team that next week. That's why I hate the Giants more than the Cowboys. So that's just me.
Ooh, I can't hate anybody more than the Cowboys. But anyway,
the Giants. But big hit. Go ahead and wrap up this football segment. What is your feelings on this game? Deeply, do you think that this team can End up 2-1. You said it's a possibility of Buffalo plays the way they play. But let's say best case scenario, Del Rio figures, has a better game plan. Scott Turner actually runs the ball and, plays the Heineke strengths. Do you think this game could be a pivotal game to get them on the right track if those things fall into place?
Me?
Big Hurt.
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, look, if they come out and they hit Josh Allen in the mouth, and they come out and they make him go 3 and out in the first play, and Chase Young is a disruptive force, and they show him a look that he hasn't seen before, and we score first, I think we absolutely can control the game with the run and really control the game. But this whole playing from behind, this whole thing that we've fallen in love with let's let them score first. Let's let them march down the field. Let's see what they got, and then we'll counter. While it's cool that we have the coaching ability to do that, that's not going to work this game. We need to hit them in the mouth early. We need to hit them in the mouth hard. They start with the ball. I'm talking about Buffalo starts with the ball. We need to get them with a 3 and out or a 4 and out, whatever we got to do. Give them the punt, get the ball back, go down the field, right down their throat, and control the game. Let them play catch up with us. Put them in a position where they have to pass the ball. Where Chase Young gets to just put his ears back and go straight forward. Let's blitz. Because that extra guy in coverage ain't covering shit. But I don't see us playing this game. I don't see it.
All right.
I would love to be wrong, but I don't.
I think the key is if you win time of possession, right? If you can somehow keep their offense off the field and somehow, grind them down with a run game and mix and match it up and try some exotic plays and not just run the same thing. And maybe even run, if a play is working like a tight end screen, maybe you run it a few more times. I don't know. Just like.
Look, San Diego did that to us. San Diego ran the same 3 plays on us over and over and over and over. They ran the same 3 plays. We cut one of them out, and they went with the other 2. Let's just keep calling it. Let's call the same out route to both sides, to either side of the field, until they stop it. And then we never stopped it. I would love to have that. God, I remember Jay Gruden would call a play that would work, and we would never see it again. Because Jay Gruden had to I'm going to call
the 2 tight end set. That going to be successful one week. There go 10 for 12 on third down.
2 and 3 tight ends.
And throw for 300 yards and run for over 150 yards. And next week we'll see three wide receivers, 1 running back, and 1 tight end the whole fucking game.
Look, I'm talking about in the same game. I'm talking about tight end, that little slant in the middle, that's working. Oh, that's it? We're not going to see it again? We're not going to run that play again? Okay, well, shit.
Yeah.
Fuck you too.
Look, don't. I don't want to go back into those dark days, man. I don't want to go back into those Jay Gruden days, man.
Then let's win this. Then let's go out and win a game we're not supposed to win. Yeah. And we don't have to talk about the old days. I got to bounce, fellas. I got to bounce. But
all right, Big Herd. Let them know where they can find you at and what you got going on YouTube before you.
Man, look. Right now, my main focus is life versus lymphedema on YouTube. That's my main focus. Other than that, Hertz House on Instagram, Hertz House on Twitter, Hertz House on Facebook. Normally I do Toxic Tuesdays, but I can't because people are watching my page because I got some big stuff coming up soon.
No, you always do, bro. That's why
I'm keeping my nose clean.
Yeah,
I take down my Ric Flair post.
Yeah, I had to refrain from posting some things too lately with some of the things I got going on. I got people watching my page too, so I totally understand, brother. Appreciate you taking the time out. I know you got a busy Monday. Appreciate taking the time out, and we'll catch you next time we get you all here. And
all right, man. I'll see y'all in 2 weeks. I'm not gonna want to talk to y'all after this Buffalo game.
Yeah, we're gonna have to trademark the post nut.
It's got clarity.
Yeah, we're gonna have to patent. We're gonna have to make
post
a t-shirt.
Clarity, man. It's the most clarity you'll ever have.
Hey, go get the patent for that tomorrow. We gotta start putting on some t-shirts ASAP, bro. I'm serious. Get the trademark
That's
on
the
that.
that's the next Sports on the Hill podcast
Yes,
merch right there.
Get the
Yeah.
trademark on that. I'm gonna call my T-shirt guy. We got to get that that shirt out there, dog.
I'll tell you what, that's a hell of a name of a podcast. Let me think about it.
Hey, you got to give it to us one more time for you got here. You got to drop it one more time. You got to drop it one more time before you leave, man.
Post nut clarity.
There you go. I'm gonna have to write that down.
Catch y'all later, man.
All right, man. Be easy here. We holler at you, man. I swear.
That's crazy.
All right, dude, man.
All right, fellas.
Appreciate you checking us out, man. Appreciate you taking
No
the time,
problem.
man. This
No
was a
problem.
classic episode. And we'll catch you next time we get you on. I'll see if you're free next week and see if we can try to get you off in 30 minutes next week, bro.
It is what it is, man. I just make it happen, and it's great stuff. It makes for a great show. So, awesome stuff, guys.
I'm definitely chopping this one up.
I appreciate y'all.
All
Really
right,
do.
bro. I'll holler at you, man.
The
Later,
name of
man.
this episode is the one with the post nut clarity, right?
Yeah,
like that.
post-nut. Yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh boy, Robbie, boy, we wouldn't be your last episode, boy. It's a wild one, I
know.
tell you.
No. I mean, anyway, Green Bay's up 21-17 now. Aaron Rodgers tried to go deep there, and then that last play. Yeah, crazy week. Real quickly, Carol, go through. I know they're both losing series, but go through these Nats with me real fast, and then we can talk about more exciting things with DC United and less exciting things with the Mystics. And we can round it off, but it's gonna be hard to top that segment.
Yeah, no doubt. Now I'm gonna just run through it real quick. I'm gonna go turn the channel and see what the score of the current game is now, because I put the football game on because they started giving the lead up. I know you said it was tied at 7-7, so we're going to see if the Nats can pull this one out.
Yeah, it's still tied 7-7. The Marlins are now in the bottom of the ninth, so they could win it here. So we've got Tanner Rainey in now pitching.
I feel better with Tanner Rainey in it than some of the other guys they trotted out there, but I'm going to put the football game back on because I don't want to see them lose while I'm going over there. 2-4 week last week. They're currently 61-88. They're 3-7 in their last 10. I even stopped looking at how many games they're behind. I think pretty much they're eliminated from playoff contention.
Shockingly, they're not actually, but yes, they should be.
Yeah, they will be soon. I mean, they're 27 games under 500.
What a sorry division.
Yeah, it's been, the Mets are falling apart, which was to be expected, but, Atlanta's in the division still, so them and Philly are going at it for the only playoff spot coming out of this division because the West has pretty much both wild card spots locked up. No, I think San Diego's in third place now. I think St. Louis is in second, along with
Actually, Philadelphia's moved up there. They're only 3.5 games back, and Cincinnati's 3 games back. Right now, the Dodgers and the Cardinals are the 2 wild card, and then it's Cincinnati, Philly, San Diego right behind them. And then on the other side, Boston and Toronto are leading the wild card. I'm sure somewhere Brian is very upset. The Yankees have kind of fallen apart here.
Well, they were up 4-0 when I turned the game on. They were playing. They were up 4-0 earlier, so they got a good start. Hopefully, they can figure things out.
They're currently up 4-3. They are in the top of the 8th, I believe. So Texas is up. They're playing in Yankee Stadium.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and go through the week that was and preview the upcoming week and get out of here because it's not too many good things to talk about with this national team. Last week they were shut out twice. First series, they had a 3-game series versus the Marlins, who they're playing currently right now, who are at the bottom of the ninth with a 7-7 tie. Last week they lost 2 out of 3 to the Marlins. The first game was a 3-0 shutout. Sandy Alcantara earned the victory. That puts him at 9-15. That was the game that we were doing during the show where the Nats almost got no hit. He gave up a hit in the 8th inning. He only gave up 1 hit after going 8 with no runs, giving up 7 strikeouts and no walks. Paolo Espino took the loss. That put him at 4-5. He went 6 innings, giving up 6 hits with 1 earned run. 6 strikeouts and 2 walks. And Dylan Floro earned the save for the Marlins. That was his 11th. He went 1 inning, giving up 1 hit, no runs, with no strikeouts and no walks. There were no offensive highlights for the Nationals. 8-2 was the lone game that the Nationals won in the second game. Eric Fetty earned the victory. That put him at 7-9. He went 5 innings, giving up 3 hits, 1 run with 8 strikeouts and no walks. Jesus Luzardo took the loss for the Marlins. That dropped him to 5-8. He went 4 in the third innings, giving up 7 hits, 4 runs with 1 strikeout and 1 walk. Excuse me. Juan Soto went 3 for 4 with the RBI single. Brian Zimmerman went 1 for 5 with the solo home run. And Escobar had an RBI double and went 1 for 4. And the last game of the series was an 8-6 loss. Paul Campbell took the victory for the Marlins. That put him at 2-3. He went 1 inning, giving up 2 hits with 1 earned run with 1 strikeout and no walks. Kyle Finnegan took the loss. That dropped him to 5-7. He went an inning and a third, giving up 4 hits, 4 earned runs with 1 strikeout and 1 walk. And Dylan Floro earns his 12th save in this game, going 1 inning, giving up no hits, no runs with 1 strikeout and no walks. Lane Thomas went 2 for 5 with the RBI single, and Juan Soto went 2 for 4 with the sacrifice fly. Like I mentioned before, when they lost the series to the Marlins a couple of weeks ago, this is a team they normally manhandle and is not even a competition, but we know what happened. Nats had to trade some key players to get some youth in the minor leagues to, groom and get ready for the big leagues and get us back to where we're used to being at, fighting for the division crown and playoff spots and, being a World Series contender. But unfortunately, they lost 2 out of 3 to the Marlins, who are basically the Nats and the Marlins are fighting for the bottom of the division right now. After that series, they had a day off on Thursday, traveled and played Colorado, who they also lost 2 out of 3 to. The first game was a 9-8 loss. Lucas Gilbreth earned the victory for Colorado. He went, that put him at 2-1. He went 2/3 of an inning with no hits, no runs, 1 strikeout, and no walks. Excuse me. Kyle Finnegan took the loss. That dropped him to 5-8. He went 1 inning, giving up 3 hits, 2 earned runs with no strikeouts and 1 walk. And the save went to Carlos Estevez. That was his 9th for Colorado. He went 1 inning, giving up 2 hits, no runs with a strikeout and no walks. Lane Thomas went 2 for 5 and had a 3-run home run. And Luis Garcia went 1 for 5 with the RBI single. The second game was a 6-0 loss by the Nationals. Cal Freeland earned the victory for Colorado. That put him at 6-8. He went 6 innings, giving up 7 hits, no runs with 7 strikeouts and 1 walk. Patrick Corbin, after having a stellar outing the previous one where he earned a victory, put up another inconsistent, whatever you want to call it. That dropped him to 8-15. He went 4 innings, giving up 9 hits, 6 runs, 5 of those earned with 5 strikeouts and 3 walks. There were no offensive highlights in this game, being they were shot. And the last game of the series, they were able to get back and actually get a shutout and win 3-0 to salvage 1 game and not get swept by Colorado, who was in playoff contention. Paolo Espino earned the victory. That put him at 5-5. He went 5 2/3, giving up 3 hits, no runs with 7 strikeouts and 3 walks. John Gray took the loss. That dropped him to 8-11. He went 4 innings, giving up 3 hits, 2 runs, 5 strikeouts with 2 walks. And Kyle Finnegan earned the save for his 10th of the season, going 1 inning with no hits, no runs, with 1 strikeout and 1 walk. Juan Soto went 1 for 4 with a solo home run. Yadiel Hernandez had an RBI single and went 2 for 4. And Luis Garcia had an RBI single and went 1 for 3. And it's pretty much nothing to say about it. Like I said, we know where we are. Just going to look at the upcoming schedule and get ready to get up out of here because I'm starting to get a little hungry after, enjoying some of these adult beverages. Currently,
real quick.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, right now it's still 7-7, full count 3-2 with 2 outs here on the bottom of the 9th. And Aaron Rodgers is just tearing it up now. I feel like he heard us talking some shit and just had a wide receiver go over 100 yards receiving. And yeah, I mean they're knocking on it. They just got a penalty, so it's 1st and 20. They're on the 21-yard line, so they're just outside of the red zone. But
I mean, I took them in my
uh,
pick 'em, but I still think he overrated.
yeah, another flag. I think it's another hold. I'll be interesting to see. But anyway, I just asked the question to Carly, who's one of our mods, and I appreciate Carly and DC's People's Champ for chilling in chat over here on Twitch. I asked Carly what was her favorite sport to watch, and she said hockey is her favorite sport to watch in person, but on TV it's football. Carol, is that how you feel too? Do you think hockey is the best sport to watch in person and football is your favorite on TV, or where do you rank them?
All right, this is. And now you're gonna give my now you're pulling information from me, Robbie. That's gonna show my age. I haven't actually been to a live hockey game since the Capitals played at US Air Arena.
I gotta take you to a game sometime. I gotta go.
So I do remember going. I was going to hockey games when I was young because my dad had worked for Coca-Cola and they had the Sky Suite, and we used to go to all the clubs. So I remember at a young age how crazy it was at a hockey game. So that's what got me in love with hockey at a young age. But there's nothing like a live football game. I love hockey. I haven't been to a playoff game in a long time, so I haven't been in that atmosphere like you've experienced during playoff time. So as of right now, until I go get back to a playoff game for hockey, a football game, no matter if it's regular season or playoff, I've been to a playoff game before. The lone playoff game at FedEx, one of the lone playoff games at FedEx Field against the Detroit Lions years ago. But it's nothing like a live football game, even though hockey is, to me, the best live sporting event to go to. But because of my football background, I still have to say football.
Right. I feel that. I still something about a hockey game and the energy and stuff like that. Oh, what a great play! So easy touchdown. Kind of almost like a wheel route out to the outside, Jones. Just 11-yard TD reception. They just basically made all the flow go to the right, and then the pay just to the left, and I mean, they made it look really easy. But extra point coming here. They're coming alive. Are you watching the football game?
Yeah, I got it on the second TV. I'm watching wrestling on the main TV and watching this one. But yeah, I meant to talk to her about the fantasy football. We got so caught up on everything.
I know. I'm sorry. I brought up so many times.
Yeah,
I kept up lobbing grenades and just like
yeah. I'm about to be 1-1 in my fantasy football, and I could have been victorious till I put in Cordell Patterson. But it is what it is. I'll be back next week with a vengeance.
We're at the top of the 10th. We've got a man on, as they do, on second with 0 outs, top of the 10th. We'll see how the Nationals do with. Do you like this rule? Don't like this rule? I know it started the year. I know that Brian hates the rule.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Brian. I like it, but to do it off the break, I understand. Like he said, do it maybe after it goes 2. Maybe it goes to the 11th and nobody scores. Then you put the man on second. I like it, and maybe that tweak will make it, acceptable. But yeah, I would rather see at least an inning or two of regular, without this man on second. If nobody scores, then like, okay, let's put a man on second. Let's get this game over with. See who's able to take advantage of the situation. But
kind of like hockey, throw the gimmick after the first 5 minutes and not right away.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much a good way to look at it. Yeah, just go with the regular flow, see if anybody can get anything going, 2 innings, and then after that, top of the 11th, if nobody has got anything going in the first.
I still think in hockey we should have 2 5-minute 3-on-3s, like they switch sides,
I mean, it's kind of like football now with overtime that both, if you don't score a touchdown, you kick a field goal, the other team still gets a shot to, win the game. So I think that would be cool if they would, do that instead of, automatically putting the man on second right after, the 9th inning. Say give it an inning or give it 2 innings. If nobody gets anything going, nobody gets on base, then okay, hey, let's put the man on second. See what happens after that. Somebody.
So in the 12th inning, you switch it up.
Yeah, I say after the 12th inning, give it 2 innings, nothing happens after that. So I think that would be a good medium because Brian said he hated it. I liked it, but like he had a valid point. Like, why would you do that right? Going into the 10th, why don't you at least give it an inning or two to see if they can get something going. If not, then put the man on second. So I think that would be a good compromise to some of the folks that don't like it. If they could do something like that, it would be a good idea, I think.
Real quickly, my favorite overtime scenario is actually college football, and they've tweaked it this year. It's interesting. So I do pick them. So we have 10 games that I suddenly care about. Like diehard fan, have 3 TVs. We do a whole big thing with it with Liz, and it's super fun. Because I wouldn't care about half of them. We care about A&M, but that would be like the only game we would watch usually, And so this gets me invested, like we do with Pick'em, for the NFL. And one of the games went to multiple overtimes. First of all, Utah was down 2 touchdowns. They missed the extra point, so now you need 8. They get the ball back. They march down the field. They get the touchdown. They get the 2-point conversion. Goes to overtime. First overtime, normal rules. You go. You can do whatever. Go for 1. Go for 2. So as both of the teams score, goes to a second overtime. Second overtime, you got to go for 2. You can't just go for extra points anymore, So that's cool. Then it was still tied. And then after that, it used to be you still started from the 25 and you did it for 3, 4, 5. And I've seen a 7 overtime game. But for player safety, they're like, it's too much, right? It just, these games go too long. These kids don't even get paid, so it's rough. So now it's just after the second one, it's just 2-point conversions, no touchdowns, just both teams line up for a 2-point conversion. It's like a shootout, like hockey, and like see who misses the 2-point conversion first. And Utah made what they thought made the 2-point conversion, but they said they trapped it, and they reviewed it, and it was no good, and the game ended on a replay. It was still crazy, and I like it because both teams get a true shot at it, and I think it's a cool formula, and it's very exciting. So without being too much wear and tear on the players, and anyway, so I just want to give a shout out to the new rules. It's the first game I had seen go past 2 overtimes in college football with the new 2021 rules, and I thought it was kind of interesting. So
that's kind of why I like the way the NFL does it, because it's like a progression from college to the next level. Like when you're in college, you get that fair battle going back and forth. You get one chance, I get another chance, and if it doesn't go, boom, boom, boom. But the NFL, you got to take it to the next level. If we score a touchdown, game over. You don't get the ball back. But if you hold us to a field goal, okay, we'll give you the chance. If you score a touchdown, game over. If you get a field goal to tie, then okay, all bets off. Whoever scores next wins. I kind of like that progression from the college level going to the NFL. That's why I really don't have an issue with the NFL setup.
Yeah, no, I like both of them too. I just think that college, it's very like theatrical and very like it's not defensive. It's just very like crazy chance because you're starting the 25 of your opponent, so they're almost like giving you the touchdown, so like, but you got to prove it and you got to stop them. Oh, and like at one point they went for the field goal and missed, and the other team, I jinxed it so hard because I wanted to keep on going. I was like, there's no way this goes to a triple overtime. It's impossible. And sure enough, he misses. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just like, it was crazy. So it was just kind of fun.
No doubt.
Carly's asking us today, my last show for a bit. Yes, it is. It's my last show on, but Carol will continue the torch, and we'll bring in all of our great podcast people, DujunneaB, Hurt, as you had on tonight, every other week, and the roundtable will come back for basketball, and I'm sure Anna will help Carol with some hockey talk, and so yeah, you can always still catch us on sportsothp.com, on the Facebook group, and on his channels and stuff like that. So
I'll make sure I share my feed to the Sports OTHP page when Robbie's gone, because he shares his feed to that page. I share my page, my feed on my page to other groups. So I'll make sure I share the feed to the show on there.
Yeah, it'll be sad. There's not going to be a way on Twitch that people are going to be able to watch it easily. But if people want to watch it, they can do that, or they can watch the replay the next day on Carol's YouTube channel.
Yeah, and if your friend that covers caps, that likes the caps, if she wants to come on, tell her, hit me up. We'll figure something out, get it worked out. If she can definitely come on the show, because I know she watches and helps you out on Twitch. If she wants to come on and give her,
she's a Boston fan.
Oh, that's right. That's the one that's a Boston. Okay.
Right. So, but maybe on a day where you guys play Boston.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. I know she helps support you on Twitch and do a lot of stuff. So that's what we do here on Sports OTHP. That's why we have so many podcasts and partners because we like, we got a good viewership. We got people tuning in, so we like to give other people more exposure. So, she, even though she's a Boston fan and she likes that damn Marchand, we're definitely gonna have an argument. We're definitely gonna have that.
Well,
rant.
now it's going to be interesting. Chara's moved back to the Islanders, so now both of us can root against them. Although Boston's now back in their old division, right? So we won't see Boston quite as much, in this. It was sort of weird 1 year that they'd be a rival in the division.
No matter what.
But anyway, well, Carly, I hope that you have a good night's sleep, and thanks for modding and joining us tonight. I just want to give her a
no
quick
matter what,
little shout
I will
out.
still hate Brad Marchand.
Right.
No matter what. I'm sorry. But yeah, man, as always, man, Robbie, appreciate you taking the time out. I know you about to have another life changing event with another little one, a blessed little one coming into your life. So as always, man, it's been a great 5-year journey and so much more to come. Appreciate you taking the time and doing what you do. Um, enjoy the time off. I know, like you said, next week if Liz, he doesn't want to, if Zara doesn't want to come out and Liz is there, you might make a guest appearance. But if you don't come back, man, as always, man, we appreciate all.
Yeah, if we beat Buffalo, I may have, and Liz is still pregnant, I may have to do a little cameo. But I won't do the full setup on Twitch and all that sort of stuff, but I could always jump on the Zoom for a second.
Man,
So the bases are loaded in the top of the 10th, by the way. 3-1 count, 1 out, 7-7 tie still in that. But yeah, Carly was saying that this is a beautiful moment, that she's crying. She's very happy for us. So I really appreciate both of you guys. It's going to be tough to have to take a break, but it'll be good. I think it'll reset my family, and I kind of feel like if I'm going to take a break from work, I got to take a break from everything and really put 100% into it. I'm excited. I'm hoping. It's a crazy week. Lily just got spayed today. Zach's acting a fool per usual. It's quite a crazy household. I don't know how we got to spay a dog on the same week that Liz might give birth. It's kind of crazy, but it's nothing. Life isn't exciting unless it's slightly chaotic. So it's my last week of work. So
who would have thought from a post on Facebook? Me and you have been doing the show for almost 6 years.
I know, it's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, life is crazy, man. Like I said, two different people, you're, young, white, Jewish guy doing IT. I'm a older black guy that has a warehouse background and entrepreneurship to get together for 5 years and 6 seasons of a successful sports show to make it happen, to grow from 2 people to a team of almost 20 to cover DC sports and have great folks like Doc Walker and Julie Donaldson and Grant Paulson and Haley Skarupa and everybody on our show from just 2 dudes that met off of social media. So I mean,
just started a Facebook group and you shared your blog to it, and I was like, man, this would be a fun person to do a show. I just wanted to produce a show where you were the star. I didn't know that this would be what it would become. I just wanted to have that opportunity. Heck, at one point I thought it was going to be you and Hurt maybe do a show and I produce it, and then Hurt was like, nah, I'm going to produce it, you guys do your thing. And it's pretty fun, and we've gotten to see so much. I mean, I look at the championships, right? Like the fact that we got to go to parades and got to celebrate these really the ups and downs of these teams. We'll talk about in a second. The Mystics are missing the playoffs this season for the only 2 or 3 times in the last 10, 12 years, and then DC United, one of the winningest franchises, in soccer history. We've got, the Washington football team, who's been on down times before our podcast, started. But they're in a resurgence. They won the division, and then even the Wizards were really exciting last year. To cover Brody getting the triple-double crown, was a pretty cool thing, and they made a pretty interesting trade this year for a bunch of young and upcoming players. So they'll be fun to watch as well. So it's so cool. But I think covering that hockey championship, both of us loving hockey so much, just it's such an important moment. I mean, I love the Nationals one just because it was so improbable. We didn't think the oldest team in baseball would win it all, right? But and it come,
Me and Paul,
it's
we
true. You guys did,
said that team was special, and
right?
we had a feeling something was special that season when everybody else was down on them. And
I
they
know
went
we were all so
32
very down.
and
That's true.
51, and me and Paul were like, "Hey, just
To
relax."
beat, but to beat 200 win teams in the
Yeah, I
playoffs,
didn't
to
expect that.
come from behind,
Yeah,
in all of the rounds. It'd be one thing to win a division, but we did it from the wild card position. We came from behind in every round.
I didn't call all that. I didn't call all that. That was spectacular. And to be honest, it was so great to cover that season from game 1 to game 7 of the World Series. And I still have the World Series on from MLB Network on my DVR. I still watch that special on the World Series because that's the reason why I got into this. Because I got tired of DC sports media with their biased coverage and most of the folks not knowing what they're talking about. And the fact that we were able to cover it from the beginning to the end through the trade deadline moves, through the 32 and 51 start. And we were still optimistic saying this thing was, looking special. Davey Martinez looked like he knows what he's doing. He's in the right spot at the right time. And the fact that we were able to cover that and bring that to you up until game 7 of the World Series,
I love taking pictures of Zach in his blue, Nats, shirt every night, rooting them on, them wearing the blues. It's just such a cool thing. Even if he couldn't stay up all night for those games, but just for him to see the opening pitch of a couple of those, and also for, him to be in utero, for that Capitals run, to be able to take him, even if he wasn't there in the physical, form, but, his jersey and Liz getting to touch the cup and, having that to be a part of his legacy as well. I'm still hoping that Zara comes on Sunday. How crazy would it be if 36 years later, like I was born during a Redskins Cowboys game, how crazy would it be if she was born during like a Redskins Bills game, right? Like that would be, or a Washington football team, I guess. But still, that would be something. So that's what
wouldn't surprise me.
yeah. So she didn't come tonight. I was a little worried. It's a full moon. Babies like to come on full moons. Zach did. So I'm interested to see. My dad's birthday is on Friday. So it'd be interesting to see if she comes on that day. That'd be a hell of a birthday present. It's kind of fun. We get to cover all the different sports teams. Real quickly, before we wrap up, I just wanted to cover. Or did you cover the last Nationals game? We started talking.
Yeah.
I realized.
I was just going to do the upcoming schedule real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
As I mentioned, they have.
By the way, we had bases loaded right in the top of the 10.
Yeah.
Did nothing with it.
I was watching. I'm watching now. Yeah. Now Miami has 2 on with no outs in the bottom of the 10th and Clay on the mound. So I'm not that confident. So we're gonna wrap that up. But the next 3 games, they have a 3-game series with Miami, which they're I don't like to say this, but it looks like they're in a position to not win. I don't want to say lose. But there was a 6:40 start tonight. It'd be a 6:40 start tomorrow and a 6:40 start on Wednesday. They travel to Cincinnati, and they have a 6:40 start on Thursday, a 7:10 start on Friday, a 7:10 start on Saturday, and a 1:00 start on Sunday for a 4-game series with Cincinnati. And looks like the Chisholm just tried to steal third base, and looked like he was safe, but looked like he injured himself on the slide into third base. He's the guy that started the rally that hit the home run that made it 6-4 when I got home, and then I turned the game off. And apparently he's been the spark to this team, and looked like he might be exiting the game because they're checking out his wrist. He might have slid in and maybe dislocated something or popped something. But they're looking at him, but it's not looking too good for the Nats. It's 2 on, first and third with no outs, and Miami at home, so they're looking to walk off the Nationals. But like we said, we know what the Nats had to do. They had to retool. We've been on top for a while, winning the East, making the playoffs, winning the World Series. So, you can't be on top all the time. They're going through a little, rebuilding stage right now, and hopefully it doesn't take too long. And yeah, that's about it.
So, all right, we're just gonna switch gears real quickly. I'll take off the Nats logo for a second. But so some good news: DC United. So I think it was Ola Camara. He had a hat trick for DC United last week over the Chicago Fire. 2 penalty kicks, one in the 8th minute, one in the 35th. Converted both of those, and then scored in the 44th minute. So all 3 goal. Oh no.
Yeah, that's the typical way that season has been. On a wild pitch, the Marlins score to walk off. So they won the game without even foot in the bat. They're checking the replay. I don't know why, but yeah, 8-7 is the current score of the Marlins game. They want to review it, but yeah, wild pitch.
What is there to review?
I don't know. I think he's grasping at straws. I don't even think it's Davey. Maybe Davey got thrown out early. I'm not sure. It was a wild pitch. It's an umpire saying it's a wild pitch. What is it to review? I don't know. But go ahead, Robbie. Wrap it up, buddy.
Anyway, that was weird. So it's three goals in the first half, and yeah, I mean they won 3-0, so that was really exciting. Unfortunately, they played Atlanta United and lost that one 3-2. It was 2-1 pretty late, and then Atlanta United scored in the 87th minute. And then DC United actually scored in the 90-minute +4, so right at the end to make it a little closer, 3-2. Just pulling up the upcoming schedule for them. They play FC Cincinnati, who have both of their strikers with red cards, so their 2 best forwards won't be playing in that game. That game will be at home 7:30 on Saturday. And then they play Minnesota United FC on Wednesday, September 29th, so that's 4 days later also at home, and that's at 7:30. And the current table standings, which is the has Atlanta United with 36 points, Philadelphia with 35, and DC United is now out of the playoff picture right now with 34. So just a point off. 1 point is for a tie, 3 for a victory. So they were actually in playoff position, but some of those other teams played yesterday and won, and so they've jumped them a little bit. So it's all very close, 36, 35, 34. And so hopefully DC United will be able to hold on and have a playoff spot. And then, Carol, some sad news for the Mystics. Just disappointing loss. And they unfortunately aren't going to have a playoff spot. They often make the playoffs, but it's been a rough year with some of their stars being injured.
No doubt. You know, we wish we could have brought you better coverage of the Mystics this year, but it's an off year for us and an off year for them. They're missing playoffs, but hopefully next year they'll retool, get some of their stars back. Atlanta has been out for most of the season, and you know that's their MVP. You know, finals. You know, got them to the finals and did what they did to win the championship. So you know, there's always next year. That's the beautiful thing about sports. There's always next year.
Right. So Aaron Rodgers is 19 for 23 for 232 and 4 touchdowns and taking the field again.
He's still overrated.
Still, and they've scored, I think, 35 points already in this game. So yeah. So it's interesting because it was so close in the first half, and in fact the Lions were up at halftime. And they basically haven't scored, I think, in the second half, right? Or have they scored anything?
As long as he win, I get my winning pick, and that's all I'm worried about.
Yeah, so far the Packers are outscoring the Lions 21-0 in the second half. So that's not a recipe for success. Yeah, so that's all I got for all the different sports. But thank you, Carol. It's been a fun season so far. I'm excited to see where you and the guys take it. I'll definitely keep the website updated and keep people updated with news on my social medias about Zara. And hopefully everything goes well with that. And yeah, it's been fun. I might do some posts here and there, little videos here and there, but I'm not going to do the full 2-hour shows, all that, for at least a little bit. Probably come back in January with that, and hopefully the Washington football team's in contention because now they actually play in January with games that matter potentially. So hopefully I come back to a team that are talking about where they're in the playoffs. I hope that you're right with your prediction, although 13 wins is quite high.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm optimistic sometimes. Like I said, that was best case scenario prediction right there. That was if everything falls into place and we didn't have these hiccups we had in the first. So there should be an asterisk by that.
Yeah,
But
that's
I mean,
okay.
this team can definitely get it together. They just got to figure out. Like I said, last year they started the first 4 games out bottom in the league in division. I mean, bottom in the league in defense, and offense was sputtering. But they found a way to get it together. You know, ended up winning the division even though it was 7-9. Still won the division. Still made it to the playoffs. Should have won against Tampa if the referees would have called an even game. But that's another story for another day. I'm optimistic that hopefully with this 10-day layoff, that they figure some things out. Del Rio's going to get his game plan together. Scott Turner, somebody's going to smack him in his face and tell him to run the damn ball. And they're going to have a good game plan against Buffalo because they know Buffalo's a Super Bowl contender. With Josh Allen, the quarterback, they have definitely elevated their team and their game. And this is, another, not going to say must win, but yeah, you must win this one because you got to salvage the victory from the loss you took against the Chargers, which should have been a win. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting season going forward, But we're going to have a handle. We got a great crew, got a great team, and we're going to definitely bring you that DC sports without the politics, the best sports around. Definitely going to bring you that every week, week in and week out. And as always, Robbie, appreciate you taking the time. Hopefully everything goes well with Zara being born. I still haven't got a chance to get a van and meet Zach, but hopefully in the new year with the pandemic and things, hopefully getting us up together, I can finally get up there and meet the newest members of the sports team sports OTHP.
Yeah, for sure. I would love it. Yeah, we got barbecue it up and catch a game or something together for sure. So, but thank you as always for covering all the things and for keeping the podcast going over these next couple months. And I'm excited. We'll still chat every day. I'm sure. I can't stop following sports completely,
No doubt.
but I'll be excited to see where the teams go. Hopefully the Caps start off strong. It'll be interesting to see how they do, and whether I was looking at some of the training camp stuff, and I hope that Connor McMichael cracks this lineup. I just don't know where you slot him, but it should be a fun start to the hockey season as well. And yeah, it's crazy that hockey season is just right around the corner. Basketball season's also right around the corner. Baseball season about to go into the playoffs in just a couple of weeks, and yeah, it's a crazy time for sure. But I'll let you wrap it up there. I was gonna go for a raid, but I think that I'm not gonna do that tonight. We'll just end it with you doing your normal wrap up.
All right. Well, on the Capitals note, I gave your boy a lobby that pass the first season. I want to see some improvement going into season 2. Yeah, I'm gonna have to call him out. But as always, appreciate y'all tuning in. Currently, it's 35-17, and Green Bay is up on Detroit with 6 minutes left. They have the ball on their 45, looking to finish this game because Detroit is about to nothing really pretty much they can do. Make sure you check out At the Bar Radio on Sunday night. We have local basketball legend and international basketball player Brian Bridgeforth coming on. Put a little commercial out at the beginning of the show. Make sure you check us out at the Bar Radio around 6 o'clock. We also have another guest. We have a 2-guest show with a plus-size model. I didn't write her name down. I'm sorry, but she'll be on the show also. So make sure you tune in for that. We'll be grilling, chilling, sipping, and podcasting. Hit me up if you want to come through. Yeah, that's what we do. We be right in Alexandria. If you want to come on over, bring some food to throw on the grill, or bring some drinks to, have some adult beverages, and come be a part of the studio audience and watch us do what we do. Make sure you check us out Sunday, probably around 11, maybe 11:30 for the pregame for the Washington football team against Buffalo, and then I'll be streaming live about 20-30 minutes after the finish of the game, win, lose, or draw. Right before At the Bar Radio at around 6 o'clock. Go check out the website, Sports OTHP, for the Sports OTHP apparel. You can hit me up for mine. You can check out Robbie with the District of Champions stuff that he has on the website. You go click and buy. I'm working on getting the fall apparel line ready with some sweatsuits, some hoodies, and some other stuff I'm working on. So make sure you check us out. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned used vehicle, come check me out at Waldorf Honda down 2450 Crane Highway. We're going to get that deal done. Bad credit, slow credit, no credit. Just hit me up. Let me do what I do. I can make that thing happen. Make sure you tune in Sunday for At The Bar Radio, streaming live on the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And as always, I'm going to end the show with some independent music videos that we play on At The Bar Radio. With Renegade, Amari Khan, and TJ May Crow, some of my favorite artists on there. I'm going to have some new videos to drop for you too. So as always, appreciate you checking us out. CP3 live from the lab. RobbieG live from the man cave. DC Sports without the politics. It's not just a catchphrase. It's not just a motto. It's what we do. And we out.
Money. I love that money.
Lucas.
Money. You don't really want to play. Money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you been talking about. You don't really want to play. You don't know what to say. It's money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you always been talking about. And I don't wanna be the one who always really talk about. And you don't really want to play. You don't know what to say. Cause money's what I'm talking about. Money, make you shut your mouth. Don't never ever talk about it if you never had the clout. You don't know what to say. Stay up out of my way. Cause money, make you shut your mouth. Keep playing with these goonies, boy, I'm gonna have to make the call. Stay in bounds on your pivot, boy, if you gon' ball. Cause a lot of niggas be fake, and you really can't play. Cause we done got it out the mud, nigga, what you talking about? Screaming, oh my God, money got me pride. They living a lie, look into my eyes, they might seem surprised, this is homicide. We just multiply, we been on the rise. If we got some wings, fuck it, we gon' have to fly. Money, what I'm talking about. Day in my life, take me a different route. And use all my case, niggas on my face. You can get erased, what you talking about? Money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you been talking about. And you don't really want to play. You don't know what to say. Cause money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you always been talking about. And I don't wanna be the one who always really talk about. And you don't really want to play. You don't know what to say. Cause money's what I'm talking about. You never crossing these borders. I'm whipping it up, Gordon Ramsay. I swear that I'm cooking these orders. You talk about me, you better just hope that you can just really afford it. I'm balling, I'm winning, I'm feeling like Robert Tahori. Nigga, I'm scoring. I count in the morning. They talk about me, then I gotta ignore it. My bitches be foreign, so independent, my money be corporate. These rappers is boring. You hate me and I'm always gonna adore it. I'm smoking that soaring. She always go ahead and let me explore it. I call her my Dora. You can go and talk about me, I ain't flawless. I go put my all in. If a nigga talk about me, then I'm gone in. You know that I'm gone in. Jump in, take trips, Pompeii. All day, always keep 3 stacks like Andre. I get it, man. And you can never, ever get rid of that. So watch what you say, and watch how you do. If you playing the game, then you play by the rules. Money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you been talking about. And you don't really want to play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money is what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you always been talking about. And I don't wanna be the one who always really talk about. And you don't really want to play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money is what I'm talking about.
A few years ago, I told myself I'd be the next big thing in the industry. See, the game is simple. Life has its way to show us that anything is possible. The power of the tongue, which has the ability to be detrimental or beneficial. Was it beneficial? I'll leave that one up to y'all. This is my story from me to you.
You're listening to this song right now. I'm speaking specifically to you. I want to give you my testimony, tell you a little bit about myself, if you don't mind. Coming from nothing but a little struggle and pain. Crazy how we can all turn around for you and change. I done seen a lot of things in the street, wrong danger to me. Hustling with them niggas that was no good for me, but I never gave up. 10 toes prayed up, thinking about the nights when the opposition got sprayed up. Trying to see a sunny day, all I get is rainy days. Screaming free my dogs and the loved ones who ain't here today. Yeah, I miss you, wanna kiss you, wanna hug you and hold you, won't forget you. All my life I've been misunderstood, just a little nigga trying to get up out the hood. And this thing we call poverty, but that's all inside of me. Used to cry myself to sleep, but strong I gotta be. Now I'm on TV, I done made it out the street. Troubled child turned the streams to reality. See, I knew that I would get there all along. Listen to the words of the song. This is my story from me to you. All I wanna do is just give you my truth. All I really want, promise to keep this just between me and you. Just between me and you, yeah. And you can do anything, just believe in your dreams will come true. Who would've thought that we would come up like we did? Running around on Upland Street, man, I never forget. They told us we was bad, always getting in some shit. Breaking windows from throwing rocks, but we was just being kids. And smoking at the park, coming in after dark. Rolling with them, thug niggas, reckless with no heart. Sexing on them, hood rats addicted from the start. Trapping and catching cases, ghetto life is so hard. Coming from a broken home, left me all alone. Neglected as a child with nothing to call my own. But now that I'm good, now that I'm paid, I'm shining, everything is okay. This is my story from me to you. All I wanna do is just give you my truth. I'm giving you my truth with you in it. Promise to keep this just between me and you. Don't you tell nobody no. And you can do anything. Just believe in your dreams will come true. So yeah, this is a to B conversation. And with great faith, you can see your way out of anything.
Can you hear me? I am calling now out your name, and now I know, and I'm here. gonna be disco. Take me to a place where everybody learns, where everybody sees, where everybody shows their love. I didn't think so. You know, that's why I always champagne for you or me. I really didn't think so. I take a promise, I give it some love, I make a wish upon a star. You know you gotta get it right. You know you gotta get it right. Ooh, every little thing counts now. Every little bitty thing. Can you hear me? I am calling now out your name, and now I know, and I'm here, and you know it, it's all just the same, and I know it's gonna be disco. It'd be so cool just to celebrate,